Good afternoon. Alright, what the heck am I doing today? What I need to do today is continue working on that mission system. Probably also need to talk to Adam about some of the mission stuff. But the other thing I need to do is rack up some goals. So let's go into that Chicago standard game. While I'm waiting for my initial build to finish off there in Visual Studio. Alright, so the thing I was trying out was, doing the kick. It's like it's still working. So the other thing I was working on is I was working on getting the actual missions working. I was working on the events. Oh, come on, Visual Studio, stop hanging. Give me my mouse back, Visual Studio. Very good. So what point did I get to? Like we had the new stats. And I got every one of these systems working. So all these screens now exist and everything like that, which is important. Right, I need the stats too. I need stats for a mission. Just start writing some of these things down. Alright, so we need mission specific stats that get tracked. Because right now we need to have, we're resetting the in-game stats. We need to apply the actual game modes. See some other things. We need to be able to fetch the current mission information in our screens. Alright, we need tiers to be selected. Because we got missions that start, we got missions that end, we got the balls spawning, we got the victory and loss conditions working. So what's the first thing we should add? I think it's going to be the mission-specific statistics. So that needs to exist outside of the player state, though. So we need mission stats, because it could span multiple missions. So I guess we'll just stick it on the game instance and call it good. Oh man, it's multi-ball. Is it slow ball? Yeah, it is. There we go. Because the player state has all of this gameplay stats and everything else inside of it. And we need to start using that. So how should we put that together? Alright, so if we go to the player state, gameplay stats, yeah, okay. There's a few things there with the touch attempt stuff that's a little bit special. If it's on the game instance, that's okay. Should it be on the game mode instead of the game instance? I don't think so. Yeah, it needs to be on the other stuff here. Alright, so we need a struct here, which is not this, it's going to be mission stats. This will be Dashkin mission stats. Alright. Are we still building? When did I... Whatever. Alright, so I need to reset everything. I wonder why I don't remember kicking off a build. But basically we need this Dashkin mission stats to be on the game instance. Alright, so we have mission stats. And then we need callable functions for like get mission stats. We'll need a reset mission stats. And I guess we would need, yeah, we need to snag that guy and we'll have that set up there. Report stats, alright, good. Let's grind up some goals while I'm at it. No contact, but we got mad ups. We could do a get and set for mission stats. I can't really do a static mission stats. So why don't we just do this? Alright, so let's implement these guys. Alright, so we need to call our get function. Okay, so we'll do that. So reset mission stats. Do the mission stats have a start time? Like, I guess, what sort of time are we looking at here? We have process, game start time, real game time, and process time. I think game time is what we want. So get game time F, yeah. Yeah, it should be good. Alright, so we should have reset mission stats, and we should have start mission, on start mission, on mission start. And this is going to be the get game time F. Because when we call pause, it'll stop the tick on that game time. Need a reset on mission stats. Where the hell did I put the reset for this? Did I put it on the game mode? Yeah, I did. Whoops. Alright, so we got get, and we want this on mission start. And then we should also have on mission start and on mission end. Alright, get mission end time. So let's go to our mission end time, and we need to go to the player state. Just like that. On mission end, on mission start, on all those things. Reset mission stats needs to go Dashkin game instance. Reset mission stats. Append stats to mission. Alright. So I mean, I could go ahead and make a function here which is to append stats and basically just take in the const references to these things. Which is not really what we want to do. We basically want to pass on all of these variables into the mission stats stuff. So it's really, as we accumulate these things, we don't want this append stats to mission. Like that's not a function we want. What we want is for all these events to actually do stuff. So when we're here, we're going to want the reference to the mission stats. We should change this to get a pointer and make it static. Oh no, is that sudden death? Alright, let's go score goal. Variables. Hello, Anlono. Or Anlao, or whatever. Oh man, it's a sticky ball map. I'm just working on the mission system stuff today. Continuing with, there's a lot more to do with it. So, we need this guy. Can I spell? What am I doing? This will be get mission stats. The game looks nice though? Yeah, the game looks nice. Working on all that. The missions though, like there's a couple big features left before we go to Steam with the game and get, you know, lots of people playing. Missions is one of those critical features. It's going to be missions. We're going to do a pass on abilities, and then character customization. And the character customization will have the progression, and the abilities will have progression in them, so you know you can actually evolve your character over time. And once that's in there, like missions, abilities, and the character customizations, we're going to Steam. So we only got 3 big systems left in this game, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. We probably can't have pointers to these things, can we? Man, that sucks. Okay, so what I'm gonna need is get mission stats here. And we're gonna need a second one, which is gonna be get mission stats pointer. And that can't be a U function. It's just gonna be a normal function. And we need to define that. So we actually have to include this Dashkin player state in here, or we need to take these data structures and put them somewhere else. I think it's probably want to put it somewhere else. So we could put it in the gameplay constants, or I think we could put it in Dashkin game data.h. So why don't we do that? These days you kind of have to have what other games have. Well, I mean, there's some very good reasons to have all the things that we're talking about. Like, we want progression because we want people to come back and enjoy it. And where the hell is the player state? So it's not necessarily, I think, that we're going to have these systems just because other people have them. We're going to have these systems because they're engaging gameplay. Game data, CPP. They're just, you know, they're just good systems. They make a good game. So include our Dashkin game data.h, and I need to make sure we have that h inside of here. Game data.h is already included. Alright, so let's build that and make sure it works. I guess when you feature have a track record, that's a good thing to include. Well, it depends. You know, you don't want to just take stuff from everything. It's more of a, we want to take from what's worked for online multiplayer games. And what works for them is having good player progression. You know, people want to unlock things as they play. We're going to need some stuff like matchmaking for some online games. And for single player stuff, we need unlocks. Expected generate body at start of struct. Yeah, generate body. So for the online stuff, like, we'll need matchmaking systems and some of that. Problem is right now we don't have enough people to really do matchmaking because there's just not enough people to fill a match on most of the time. And even then, when we have stuff at the end of the day, you know, for our updates, we haven't had a problem of getting people into games and using just a game browser. So we'll have matchmaking eventually. I mean, that's not a big system though. That's just matchmaking is actually not too hard when you already have your infrastructure set up. Matchmaking on proper elo and, you know, stats, this is an exercise and you can always do a better job. So that part I wouldn't wave away as being easy. But for single player stuff, again, we need progression, we need stuff that you can achieve. We need a lot of content for single player stuff for missions. Like, we need lots of missions. Just look at games like Xenoverse and other ones. These are just hundreds of missions with just random crap to do, and that gets people to stick around. And the idea being, while you're messing around with these challenge missions and story missions or whatever, you'll be queuing for matchmaking for like a good match or something. Because we got all those stats, those sweet stats. And we'll be improving stuff like, you know, the network latency. If I wanted like gold plating on this game, I'd want to rip out the physics engine and replace it with something else, because it sucks. You won't mention names, but some of them put bots in pretending to be real players just to fill up a game. Yeah. Well, we're gonna try not to do that, because that's not very fun for anybody. I mean, it could be fun, I get it, but I would rather queue up and have like 1v1 with a bot if nobody is online. But at that point, What I would like to see is like different queues for like 1v1, 2v2, because the problem I see right now is a lot of it is I think the 3v3 is just too many damn people. What is this pissed about? Is I think our 3v3 for this is just real chaotic, and it's kind of like if you're doing a 4v4 in StarCraft or something. It's kind of bullshit. At some point, it's just like, all right, whatever. So I think we're gonna want matchmaking with different things like that. Yeah, we needed an arrow here. Please use get login ID. Legal call to non-static member function. Get stats pointer. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, just throwing bots in there, I don't know, that's... Like, I can understand if you had a match that got put together and you had, like, 3v3 and then somebody drops, then throwing a bot in there to just be like, alright, the match is screwed, we get it. But, we'll throw a bot in there because this guy rage quit after 30 seconds. And that makes sense. Like, that's okay. But if you don't have enough people playing your game to get a full match together, I would rather just sit loading a queue, right? Where if you got something else to do and you're like, hey, I'd like to play a game until you actually get people in there. Though, on some other things, like I've talked to some of the Riot guys before, and their biggest retention stat is if you win the first game of League of Legends. It's like that's the hook. If you win your first game of League of Legends, like all their numbers say you're gonna stick around. So I could see there being an incentive in a game like that or whatever where you have these numbers where you're just like, if we put them against bots in that first game where they're gonna win, then we get to keep everybody. We just have to convince them that they're real people they're playing against so they feel superior. So I could see a non-evil, just don't say they're not bots. Now don't say they're players, just don't say they're not players. So I could see some reason to do that. What is this getting all pissed about? Left of touch attempts, like gameplay stats here is... It must be something else that's angry. Now, do we have victory conditions for a mission itself as opposed to the stages? I'll have to take a look. Putting bots in there to troll people? I'd be alright with that. Now calm down, trash can. It's okay, rookie. Trash talk is great in games. Like, I think I had the most fun when I was at EA working on Dawngate with the QA guys. I was not a QA guy, I was a server engineer, but I was they put the server engineers next to the QA dudes because we didn't need to be next to everybody else, and QA would tell us problems because is that. But when we're doing playtests, man, the trash talk was great. Just the QA guys got real good at trash talk because they had it down to a science. So like, you don't want to insult them directly. You just want to imply that they're bad at everything. So like, and tell them to calm down. Like, tell them to do the right thing in a really condescending way because that's how you piss them off. You know, like, oh man, great shot. You need to lead them. You need to lead the target, like just like that. You know, I really appreciate that you're on the other team. Man, pop up only on this one. There we go. We just got one. They're way too obvious about it. They're just like just canned responses to everything. So like, good job, fellow human. You scored a goal. That was, you know, way to go, buddy. You know, like completely vanilla things that people don't say in real life. Like, oh yeah, you know, you did a good job there with the sports ball. Also, hello, Sir Dies-a-lot 7 or Sir Dies-a-lot. I'm just working on mission stuff for Brackensack and kind of scoring goals when I'm not. So what is this pissed off about? Yeah, it's just pissed off because this used to be a non-static function. Now it is, and I need to use my pointers. Alright, we got that. On mission start, I need to actually set the end time to the start time right here, just to make sure it's proper. There we are. They keep calling players out for aimbotting. That gets yeah. But so you have bots that suck at your game, and then you have them basically whine and bitch to your normal players. I mean, if you're gonna have bots in your game, don't have them like be whiny bitches about everything. You know, have them be like the old bots in like Scorched Earth. They're just like, "Woe is me." Gameplay stats exist, you stupid bastard. Is this a static function? Is that what it is? No, it's not a static function. Well, what the fuck? Like, gameplay stats is right there. Unknown type. It's right here, inside of your Dashkin game data. Does this pile of trash not know about the game data? It should. Even they still get mad and scream at the bot. Try to vote to kick the bot. That's great. Like, why can't we kick this guy? This guy's got some stupid mad admin permissions, where they just get another bot that gets spawned in there, and then he starts bitching and whining too. It's like, man, you got the whiniest AI of all time. Alright, obviously I did something wrong here with gameplay stats, and I think I already know what it is. It's that, yeah, I didn't... There's a little P in there. There's not a big P in gameplay. So, okay, I get it. You have to give them poor grammar. Yeah, you need like. See, what you should do is you should set it up so all of your bot chat comes from people that are watching just like 30 games, and then they can trash talk people in all 30 games while not playing it. See, if I was gonna have like some matchmaking bot thing, I'd want to be able to fuck with people. Like, what I could do is be watching, spectating like a whole bunch of different games, and then like hit the trash talk button a couple times, and then turn up a knob to make it more difficult for people, or like change their lag or something, so you could have the bot just totally fuck with them. I'd be okay with that. That'd be fun for me. You know, not for them, but they don't matter. Other people don't matter. All the beta testers start yelling at you. The game makes you say something mean. Well, I've seen that happen before. I think there was a bug in one game that did exactly what you're talking about, where they were supposed to like change some pirate lingo into like nice word, you know, like they changed like your bad words into pirate lingo or something, but it like did the opposite. So you try to say not a swear word and replace it with all swear words. I don't understand people who censor chat in games either. Like, if you're in an online game, like somebody's gonna drop a few f bombs. Like, it's let's not sit here and pretend that like online players are nice people. There's more racist shit as a part of playing online games than anything else on the entire planet. So putting a little band-aid on it and saying, "Oh, he didn't really say that," is just disingenuous. Also boring. And then you got people like, you know, Club Penguin or whatever, just go on to troll people. You know, figure out ways to get around the censorship. Yeah, there's always a mute chat option. Exactly. Use the mute. Use the mute button. Just do it. Like, oh, that guy's annoying. All right, so I need to, in our player state, accumulate all of our stats and bubble them up to our mission stats themselves. So let's go from the top. Okay, so on ball touch, so we got mission stats. Is that the right thing? Yeah, just ball touches just like that. Alright, cool. So let's just copy paste all this trash everywhere here. Because I tried, when I was on Dawngate, we had the EA profanity filter that we needed to have and put into the game. Because it was an EA game, we need to have the EA profanity filter for our chat. Alright, so this is on assist player. Alright, so I have the assist. And the profanity filter spanned multiple languages all in once in like the same chat. So like, okay, you can't swear in Italian, and in the U.S. servers, and try to catch all that. And it was amazing because I turned it on, and immediately in our first dev playtest with that stuff, people were pissed because they couldn't say anything without the profanity filter flagging it and removing it. So we spent all this time trying to fix the profanity filter, and I was like, all right, guys, we're just really, I went through all this profanity filter and I just started taking all sorts of shit out. Because even there's so many derogatory things across every language that it was just impossible. People would say something like, so does that mean I should buy this item? And it would actually flag to them because oh, this so does in Italian, there's some derogatory term for immigrants or some shit if you flip two of the letters, and you're like, what the fuck? People. So we got stats, touches. And we have player touches. And that's player specific stats. So we don't give a shit about those. I don't know. It was always fun seeing just how stupid all that stuff was. Alright, so we got all those hit types working on wall hit. Alright, so we'll do that and do mission stats. Do that on victory. I might actually want this in gameplay stats. Might want to victories, wins, losses. I could see it working. The dumbest. All right, let me see. The dumbest college major a few days ago was called Slavic Road Design Theory. What the fuck? Slavic road design, what? Two young Vietnamese teens swearing while they were gaming. They thought nobody could understand them. Then a vet got up, went over to their table, and was like, shut the fuck up, you assholes. Yeah, I gotta say, I can't really come away from that one clean, because when I was in high school, I was part of a trip to Japan with a bunch of other high school kids, and we were really loud and obnoxious and swore the entire time, and it was real bad because nobody in Japan understands English, right? Nobody in Japan knows English. Everybody in fucking Japan knows English. So yeah, we were just being dumbasses. All right, so we got wins and losses, but because we edited that, I need to go do a reset function. So we'll add the wins and we'll add the losses. Is the study of what the people who built roads in Eastern Europe were thinking while constructing roads. I mean, that's I don't understand how you could have a. I mean, is that a major? I don't understand how you could major in that. You're like, well, you see, because of the Tengri, pagan ideas, we have to have a rune stone every so many yards with a skull on it with, some other bullshit going on. I just don't think you could. I mean, it'd be an interesting course, but I mean, think of your job opportunities. You're interviewing somebody, and they're like, "Well, what do you know? What skills can you bring to this position?" You're like, "Oh man, if we are in Eastern Europe, and somebody's like, why is this road all fucked up and crooked? I'll be like, dude, I got this one. Yeah, you see, back and they're like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to know. It was a rhetorical question. Alright, so now we need touch attempts. So mission stats, gameplay stats, touch attempts. Set touch attempts. Alright, we don't have to worry about that. Team change, own goal. Alright. People major in lesbian dance theory. You stopped being surprised a long time ago. You see, I'm not really surprised. I'm just kind of faking being surprised. But at the same time, it's still stupid. Also, lesbian dance theory sounds like a really boring major. I mean, try holding a conversation with somebody at a bar about that, and it's not going to work out for you. It's like, oh, you know, you're like at a family reunion, you're saying, oh, what do you do? You're like, oh, I study dance. I'm like, oh, that's cool. What do you study about it? And you're like, and then you just probably start lying because it would be too embarrassing. You make it up. You're like, actually, I dropped out of college and I work at Starbucks. And half of that would be a lie. So let's increment. Now we don't need to set this here. Touch attempts, on touch attempts, set touch attempts, user data available, team change, on goal. Alright, so we want gameplay stats goals. On own goal. Alright, so we got that. Get touch stats for player. That's good. Reset mission stats. Reset stats. So I think that should reset everything. And we did add ties to our resets. Yeah, okay. Let's make sure it all builds then. Great to get rid of someone at the bar. What do you study? And like, I study... Your mom. You don't need a degree for computer science. Self-study will do if you're diligent enough. It's true. You can teach yourself computer science stuff and do fine. What I find is a lot of the kind of the self-taught computer science people who we would work with or hire or whatever, if they hadn't gone to a university or some program, they were really weak on data structures. Like, they know how to use a lot of stuff and usually know how to just get shit done. Like, very, very much you give a problem to somebody and like they'll go solve it. But we found that, oh, I got 6 seconds. I got 3 seconds, but I'm too slow. Get in there. No. What we found is a lot of the self-taught guys would be very weak with data structures, not very good with sticking to like a larger team schedule. And you know, they hadn't had all that shit beaten into them, you know, working on group projects. You know, education is just really good at making you do what the hell your teacher says, which is a great training for being an employee to somebody else. But so it wasn't bad, but I think like if I was gonna do everything over again, I think I'd go to a university for learning computer science. I don't think it's a waste of money. I think it's very helpful. You know, even if you had all the same learning courses or anything, I think they cover the basics better than a lot of maybe just get it done sort of things. But I didn't go to a big university, right? I went to a focused one on games. If I had gone to like a University of Washington or State University, I might have a very different opinion. I got this thing called a book. What the hell are you talking about? Books? Books in computer science? No. That's a waste of time. Maybe the first year. You see that a lot with people. Like you'll have your new engineer out of college, and he'll be setting up his desk at work, and he'll have like Windows programming and like somebody KNRC and some other shit. Like, oh, I got code complete over here, and I'm just like, I don't give a shit about you. You with the Dead Space statue, you're cool though. I'm okay with that guy. You with like code complete on your desk, you sound like a pretentious asshole, and you haven't even said anything yet. Maybe that's just me, just being a jerk. That very well may be the case. Alright, so we'll wait for that to build, and then I need to set up the reset mission stats, and I also need to double check the victory and defeat conditions for a mission on a per mission basis. Because I could definitely see a mission where we have like, okay, you have to win 2 out of 3 matches or some shit, and we could do that with this mission system. You agree with me? You went to technical school, Films? National service, yeah. Well, the United States does not have a national service requirement or something. Alright, so let's put this up. I want to call the reset from inside of set to mission start. You are going to college for computer engineering. Yeah. So computer engineering, so that's a CE degree, not a CS degree, right? So South Africa, 1985. Oh shit. I think we had this conversation about South Africa and Mars and how sadly we have no data centers in South Africa, and that's really unfortunate for you if you're playing online games. But a CE degree, so that's more wires and breadboard and theoretical physics and physics, resistance and wire diagrams and shit. Though you learn how to build robots of death and destruction. I'm all for that. I was looking into like some South African data center stuff there. Embedded systems, yeah. And all the data centers seem super fucking sketchy. I was like, I don't know about this. Alright, so we got append stats to mission, but that's trash. We don't need it. Reset stats, we'll do that. This is reset stage data. Alright. So we want reset mission data, which is called here. So reset mission data is already being called.